Since you are going to the Slovakia-Ukraine border, I'm wondering, have you spoken with Mrs. Zelensky?
Well, I've gotten a letter from Mrs. Zelensky, and I've also spoken to the First Lady of Poland, and she gave me her list of things that they needed. So, you know, I think it's, I mean, we're in a conversation, but it's not really, you know, one-to-one, although I did talk on the phone with Mrs. Duda.
First Lady Jill Biden has kicked off the first leg of her 4-day trip to Eastern Europe. She spent time in a U.S. military base in Romania, serving food and talking to troops and military leaders. Tomorrow, she'll head to Bucharest to visit a public school hosting refugees. The First Lady is the latest high-profile official to visit the region to demonstrate America's support for Ukraine and NATO allies. For more, we want to welcome Ukrainian Ambassador to the United States, Oksana Markarova. Madam Ambassador, thank you for joining us tonight. How important is it for the First Lady to visit the region and see firsthand what's going on?
Thank you for having me. It's very important. I cannot even explain how much it will mean for Ukrainians who are outside of Ukraine. And we have more than 5 million outside, primarily women and children. So it's going to be very good that the First Lady, who's paying so much attention here to education, to children, that she will be able to see and talk to them firsthand and hear the stories of why so many Ukrainians were forced to flee the country. Because, again, it's very important that on this weekend, the Mother's Day, coincide also with the 77th anniversary of the end of the World War II. And yet we are again in the situation when a brutal war returned to Europe from the uncivilized country that is attacking our country for no reason. So it's going to be a great sign of support.
The brutality continues in one area, specifically Mariupol. We're seeing Ukrainian forces continue to keep up the fight at that steel plant. What can you tell us about what's going on there?
Thank you. Yes, the brutality continues everywhere, but I think Mariupol is such a symbol now of everything that Russians are doing to, you know, Kharkiv, Chernihiv, Odessa, to other places. But Mariupol is being encircled for the past 2 months. And Russians are using everything they have on that city. And our brave defenders in Mariupol, in this Azov steel plant, they are defending the civilians, which many are still there, without access, again, to food, gas, electricity, without no resupplies. They're still holding high the Ukrainian flag, and they're not giving up. Like the whole Ukraine is not giving up. So we call on everyone who can help us, not only to organize the humanitarian corridors more, to get all the civilians out, but also to do everything possible to save our defenders, to get the wounded out, to get our brave defenders out from that area.
Do you have any specifics on what's going on with those civilians that are trapped there? It has been weeks.
It has been months, you know, and they're trapped there after 95% of Mariupol has been destroyed. Residential areas, schools, everything. Russians specifically targeted civilian infrastructure and civilians there. And the only refuge they had there is actually the underground of the steel plant, where they are guarded by the Ukrainian defenders. But still, you know, they are surrounded there without access to everything, without access to medical supplies. So the faster we can get everyone out, the faster Russians will stop lying and actually organize the corridors and stop shooting, because they do it even right now. Stop shooting and trying to destroy the plant. The faster we can save these lives.
Mother's Day isn't the only big day we're looking ahead to. Monday is Victory Day for Russia, a hugely symbolic holiday. Are you concerned about Moscow ramping up attacks leading up to it?
Yes. Well, you know, the Sunday, which is May 8th, is when all civilized world is going to mourn and rejoice that the World War II was over. But I think we all will be thinking a lot, what went wrong? How is it possible that 77 years after we all said never again, Russian Federation attacked us 8 years ago and now subjected the country to a full-fledged war with all these war atrocities, which are equal to what Nazis were doing to Europe 77 years ago. So I think May 9th for Russia, it's a shame day for them, not a victory day, because how can they celebrate a victory over Nazism when they're doing now exactly what Nazis were doing? And again, and they have engaged in this brutal war in the middle of Europe with no reason whatsoever, just because Ukraine was peaceful, just because Ukraine made a civilizational choice to be democratic, to be European. And that was a threat enough for Russia to attack us in 2014, to illegally annex Crimea and occupy Donetsk and Lugansk, and the reason to start a full-fledged war 72 days ago.
72 days ago. I know I've heard you say before, this isn't just a war against Ukraine, this is a fight for freedom and democracy. But here we are, day 72. Are you worried that you're going to lose the hearts, the minds, the attention of those from the West? And if you lose our attention, things could get really isolating really quickly.
If this loses the attention, it's not going to be just a loss of Ukraine. I think, it's very important for all of us who believe in freedom, democracy, who believe that the borders are sacred, who believe that countries can decide for themselves how they want to live and make their own mistakes if they have to. If we do not stop Russia while it's still in Ukraine, if we do not say decisively that it's not okay to wage a war in the 21st century against a peaceful country, then we all lose. Then the whole global rule of law and the whole global security architecture will prove totally inefficient. So I think, we cannot lose attention to it. Like Ukrainians will not get tired in defending our country, even though it's very hard and it's heartbreaking and we've lost already so much, but we will not surrender and we will not get tired. And I think the world, the civilized world, should not get tired in saying and standing up for the principles that are so important for all of us, for freedom and democracy.
Madam Ambassador, thank you for joining us this evening. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.